One of the really good examples of holistic mission that I know about happens in Brisbane, Australia. It all began years ago with a woman by the name of Lorraine Kurzweil. She's a 70 in the church. She had a son who left home and just disappeared. Lorraine's search for her son took her to Alpha Trailer Park. It's a slum trailer park. People who don't have a lot of options in life, who've kind of been on a downward spiral with their economics and their life situations, often end up in a place like Alpha Trailer Park. They feel isolated, alone, desperate sometimes. There's not a whole sense of community and cooperation. So people began to talk with her, and she began to make relationships. She began to form friendships. And out of all that, she came to love those people deeply, and she wanted to make a difference in their lives. It was the relationships, you see, that prompted the mission. And so she formed Project Hope. There was a man with a wife and 3 children. The 18-year-old son was Wade. Through an accident, Wade was killed. And Gavyn was devastated. He did not know how to handle his grief. He turned inward. He pushed away from people and was just lost in this depth of grief and pain and darkness. Lorraine understood that. She had gone through her own grief, and she began to reach out to him, and he began to connect then with the people in Project Hope. Every year, Project Hope does a walkathon where they get pledges from folks. If they walk the walkathon, people will pay them a certain amount of money. So that's their major fundraiser, and they've done very well the last few years with their walkathon. Because of the relationship that developed between Lorraine and Gavyn and that whole community of people who were supporting and encouraging, Gavyn decided that he would walk the walkathon for Wade. But on behalf of his son who was dead, he not only would walk that, but he would take his wife with him. He would put his 3-year-old son Sharn on his shoulders and hold the hand of his 6-year-old River, and they would all walk the walk together. And it was part of his grief journey, part of his working through the darkness of that death, and also part of his giving back to the community that had helped him move out of that grief and that desperation. And so they did exactly that. He walked the whole way with Sharn on his shoulders and River by the hand. It's a beautiful, small illustration of how people can change as the gospel touches their life and they find a reason to live again and to go on in the spite of difficulties.